All right, welcome back to Nick's Picks. This is week 14. Season's almost over. Last week, week 13, I went 14-2. Hess went 13-3. So right now, I'm 109-67. Hess is 103-73. Last week, a lot of the favorites won. Pretty easy week, actually, if we're going 14 and 13 wins each. So let's get on to this week. We got the Thursday night game, Washington at Dallas. I think Washington should probably win this game, but I'm going to take Dallas in the upset. I think eventually they got to win a game. Kind of a shit show, but we'll see how it goes.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Fat Ninja, back here, week 13 of Nick's Picks, brought to you in part by Pleeka. We're going to start it off. We got a full slate, 16-game schedule this week and weekend. First Thursday night football, it's going to be the Redskins visiting the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys look terrible. They have not played well since Zeke has been out. Looks like Dak is missing his little buddy to hand the ball off to. With that being said, the Redskins haven't looked quite well either. But I'm going to take the Redskins on Thursday night.
Next game, we got San Francisco at Chicago. And Garoppolo is going to start for San Francisco, but I'm going to take Chicago at home. Chicago's not that bad, I don't think.
San Francisco at Chicago. Now, Jimmy G has been given the start. Part of me wants to go with the 49ers, and part of me wants to go with the Chicago Bears. I flipped a coin. I'm going to go with the Chicago Bears.
Next game is a pretty good game. We got Minnesota at Atlanta. This is a hard game to pick. I think I'm going to take Atlanta because they're at home. I just don't believe in Minnesota. I know they beat the Rams. They're good. Their defense is good. But I'm going to take Atlanta this week.
Minnesota at Atlanta. This should be a pretty darn good game. Minnesota has won 7 in a row, I believe. Cruising. Good old Julio Jones catching balls left and right. 12 for 253 and 2 touchdowns last weekend. I'm going to take the Vikings on the road. I don't know if it's an upset or not, but I'm going to take the Vikings.
All right, next game, we got Houston at Tennessee. Tennessee at home should be able to handle Houston. I mean, they still got Savage at quarterback. Let's be real.
Houston at Tennessee. You never know what you're going to get from either of these two teams, especially with Deshaun Watson being out. Tommy Savage. I mean, it is what it is, but I'm gonna go with Houston. I'm gonna pick a little upset here, try to catch up to Nick. You know, I'm 4 picks behind, maybe 5 picks behind, so I think I'm gonna take Houston with the upset.
All right, next game we got Tampa Bay at Green Bay. Green Bay at home. Tampa Bay has not been good this year. I'm gonna take Green Bay at home.
Tampa Bay at Green Bay. What Green Bay team will show up? The one that looked really good this past week, or the one prior where they didn't score any points? I'm going to roll the dice. Also, I believe Jameis Winston is back. I'm going to take Green Bay. They are at home at the frozen tundra.
Next game, not a very good one. Denver at Miami. It's hard to believe that Denver's now part of these bad games, but I'm going to take Miami at home. Denver just does not know what's going on.
Denver at Miami, a shit show. Neither of these teams are very good. Jay Cutler is back. He's going to play. He's out of the concussion protocol. I'm going to take the Dolphins.
All right, next game, we got New England at Buffalo. Buffalo surprised me last week beating Kansas City, but I don't think they're going to beat New England. First road game I'm picking, I'm going to take New England.
New England at Buffalo. Buffalo always plays New England tough, but I don't think they're going to beat New England, so I'm going to take the Patriots. Hopefully Tom Brady throws for 600 yards and 19 touchdowns as I have him in my fantasy.
All right, next game we got Detroit at Baltimore. This might be like a sneaky good game. Neither team is great, but neither team is horrible. I'm going to take Baltimore at home. I'm just kind of leaning towards Detroit, but I'm going to go with Baltimore.
Detroit at Baltimore. Excuse me. I'm going to take the Ravens.
All right, next game we got Indianapolis at Jacksonville. The Colts are horrible. Jacksonville lost to the Cardinals. One of my 2 losses last week, but I'm going to take Jacksonville again this week to beat the Colts.
Indianapolis visiting the Jaguars. Jacksonville could not believe that the Cardinals beat them last week. That was insane. Cannot believe it. They're going to bounce back. I say they beat Indy.
Next game we got Kansas City at the New York Jets. Kansas City's been horrible. I can't imagine that they're going to go lose to the Jets. But you know what? I'm going to take the Jets at home. Kansas City, I don't know.
Kansas City at the Jets. Now, this game, you're going to probably poop your pants. I took the Jets. I know it's a risky-ass fucking call, but you know what? I'm 5 picks behind Nick. I have to catch up, and I think the Jets are going to help me get there.
All right, next game, we got Cleveland at the LA Chargers. Obviously, I'm going to take the Chargers this week. Cleveland's horrible. Got this bad feeling this is going to be the game they win this year, but we're going to take the Chargers.
Cleveland at the Chargers. Now, I didn't go too far out on a limb here. I did not take Cleveland. I'm taking the Chargers. I'm taking the Chargers.
Next game, we got the New York Giants at the Oakland Raiders. I probably was going to take the Raiders regardless, but without Eli, I'm definitely taking the Raiders.
Giants visiting the Raiders. Giants are going to go with Geno Smith. Unbelievable. Could not believe it. Sacks of dog shit. Geno Smith is fucking garbage. Not to say Eli Manning is much better, but for God's sakes, let the guy finish out the season. Let him walk away, okay? So I'm going to take the Raiders.
All right, next game, we got the Rams at Arizona. This game scares me a little bit, being a Rams fan. Arizona seems to play good when you least expect it, but I'm going to take the Rams on the road to beat the Cardinals.
Rams at the Cardinals. This is a type of game where the Cardinals, I could see them pulling a hat out of their ass and winning this fucking game. But I am not going to take the Arizona Cardinals to win this game. I'm going to take the Rams. They are a very good football team. Jared Goff having a great sophomore season. Todd Gurley has bounced back. They got some receivers out on the edges. Robert Woods, Sammy Watkins, Tavon Austin, excuse me. I'm going to take the Rams.
All right, next game, we got Carolina at the New Orleans Saints. This should be a really good game. I'm excited for this game, too. I'm going to take Carolina on the road. I think maybe the Saints, they got a hard schedule coming up. I just don't see, I don't believe in the Saints, obviously. But take Carolina. I think the Saints were exposed a little bit last week, so we'll see.
Panthers at Saints. I'm going to take the Saints. They lost a close one. I'm going to take the Saints.
All right, Sunday night game, we got Philadelphia at Seattle. I'm going to take Philadelphia on the road to beat Seattle, hopefully with a Philadelphia win and the Rams win. The Rams would be closer to clinching their division. Let's go Eagles.
Philadelphia at Seattle. Excuse me again. Seattle is busted down, broken up. So I'm going to take Philly. I think they are the real deal. That's the first time I think I've said that I think they're the real deal. So watch them let me down. But go Eagles, go. Fly Eagles, fly, whatever your slogan is.
And the Monday night game, we got Pittsburgh at Cincinnati. Pittsburgh should win this game. But I'm going to take Cincinnati for a little upset at home to beat the Steelers. That's Nick's picks for Week 13. Hopefully I'll get another 14-2 going here. But as long as I stay ahead of Hess, it's all good.
Monday night game, Pittsburgh at Cincinnati. Pittsburgh will win this game. At least they should win this game. That's going to do it, guys. That's going to conclude my picks for Week 13 here on Nick's Picks. Brought to you in part by Pleeka. I'm Fat Ninja. Drop your comments and your teams below, and I'll talk to you next week, guys. Have a great weekend.